one more important hand to share here, and also realize that I didn't do any analysis of it at the time in the moment. And I think the reason for that was just because I was just over it at this point. So the hand develops. There's an open from early position from Wino Poker. I think there's a couple calls to me in the blinds, and I looked down at ace-5 of clubs.
There's no antes, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
one of the shows where Garrett won huge. It was nine-handed, and he didn't get out of line that often at all.
Yeah.
And most of the hands he won were, you know, just good, strong hands that anyone else would have played like in a standard fashion. But he was still able to feed off that image that he has.
So Andrew's got the ace-5 of clubs, just calls in the small blind.
Another spot where I could potentially put in a squeeze there, squeeze all of the callers in between myself and the initial raiser. And the reason I think I might have leaned against doing that this time was because I learned my lesson versus Kayla in the first place. The first time when I had that ace-4 diamonds, so just decided to play it a little bit more cautiously pre-flop this time. Put the flat call in, and again, we're going multi-way to a flop.
Wino opened this one up here for a raise and gets called here in 4 spots. And Wino, as the pre-flop raiser, has flopped bottom set, but it looks like there isn't going to be a whole lot that people are going to play. It looks like she checks it. Now, Neeme's got a 5. That's about it. 6-4. No, she didn't check. I thought she checked for a second. She's going to bet 75. Ron's got a gutter to a 3. Neeme has a 5 in the small blind. Derek here with just 2
I think she's going to get multiple calls here.
You think Neeme's going to call here with ace-5? Got backdoor clubs, backdoor wheel draw. Yeah, he does call. And that's probably going to be enough, I imagine, for Ron to come in.
I guess I could potentially make a tight fold here, but I think with middle pair and her providing a pretty good price, I think she only bet about half pot. Seems like a fairly standard call here, again, with some backdoor equity along with middle pair. So I make the call, and Iron calls as well.
So Wino's going to need to dodge a 3 here, but a 5 would be a disaster for Neeme. So 3-way action here, 375. Oh, and the turn's a 5.
Wow.
Uh-oh, and this could get big. There's the 5. And when it goes bet, call, call, you got to think someone's got a 9 or a 5 here, right?
Right. And is Ron going to bet?
Oh, is Ron going to screw this one up? No, it looked like he was going to bet. And there's the bet.
300.
And she bets
now she
large.
bets big. Interesting.
Now, is Neeme ever going to be saved by sort of taking a value own line here? I mean, the board is rainbow. Is he saying, oh, I'm going to let her bluff off, or I'm going to let her value bet her over pairs, and I'm just going to call here, or is he going to raise right away? Because it's awfully strong if he raises here.
So this is where I think I made the biggest mistake in the hand. I think that the pretty straightforward line here is to just go ahead and call. The board is so dry, there's no real draws on the flop, and now it's complete rainbow here on the turn, no flush draws either. So I don't think I have too many bluffs here on the turn, if any. The only reason I decided to put in a raise here on the turn was because I wanted to try and maximize a cooler situation if she happened to open the hand with like a 6-5 suited. I'm guaranteed to lose a bunch of money no matter what in this hand. If I check call here, she's obviously going to put in another big bet on the river, and I'm going to have to call it off, barring maybe a 9 on the river. Any other card, I'm going to have to call it off on the river. So I'm guaranteed to lose a bunch of money no matter what, but I think I fold out too many of her hands, too many of her overpair type hands on the turn with putting in a raise, especially up to $800. I could even size it down to like $650 or something like that. But I think she might find a fold with those hands anyway. So really I was just trying to cool her other trips hands. I guess there's also the possibility that I could be turning a 9 into a bluff with this line, but that just seems kind of unlikely.
Now for her, the question is that what do I do? Do I just jam? Do I just call?
I don't think it matters.
Because like, would I jam with an overpair? She's just going to move all in, and obviously
either way it's getting in, whether it's on the turn.
So he has some outs here. He could catch a 5 or an ace or a 9. Here we go to the river. 5 or an ace or a 9, and the river's a jack, and she is going to win a big one there from Andrew Neeme. Nothing like raising deuce from up front, flopping bottom set, getting a guy to turn trips on the turn.
That's what you're praying for, right?
Yep.
You want multi-way action and the flop a set as a pre-flop raiser.
One other thing that I should have paid more attention to, or maybe gone with my gut on a little bit more, was when Kayla bet the flop here, she kind of gave off a pretty big tell. She said, I'm going to bet here to see if ace-king is good. and she wasn't talking to really the field. She was talking to somebody in particular, but it was such an obvious kind of reverse tell thing that I knew she had a strong hand. I just assumed it was pocket kings, pocket aces type of a hand. And she played it well. She definitely played it better than I did. So after that, I kind of just put a wrap on the commentary from myself, so to speak, at least as far as speaking into my own camera. I did step into the booth for the last 15 minutes, which is always fun. Hung out in there, wrapped up the show, wrapped up the week in the commentary booth. I wish I could say that it was a really fun time at Live the Bike, but having absolutely miserable results on the stream, as well as in the games after the fact, after the stream was over, was not a very good week, to say the least.